Okay, we live now. If you go back to your
Come
Facebook.
on, Jay. You see your seat.
Yeah, that's your seat. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Jay.
I got a business on the soul. That's in Kirby.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm good, man.
All right.
855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, IG and Snapchat at The Plug Radio Net. Your plug for new music, RNs, The Plug, Hip Hop.
Scott, what's been going on, my friend?
Hey Jay, I'm doing well. How are you, bro?
Hanging in there, man.
Oh,
Good to see you, brother.
hey, it's amazing to me how fast June flew by.
You got a refrigerator.
But on the other hand, it seems like it's been going on for the last 3 years of my life.
Right.
But it went well. We hit second place in fundraising to Tommy Battles up in Huntsville.
Okay.
So
How many minutes we got?
we had
3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes.
we had no special interest groups. They're not, which is good.
Yeah.
But ours were basically friends. And
second in fundraising is awesome.
it was
That ain't bad.
yeah, it's a lot different than I imagined.
Right.
Um,
All that matters was gonna be like when you win, though.
I'm all right. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself, but
Right.
also be prepared.
Gotcha.
And everyone's talking about what's your issues, and I'm like, man, those things are going to change.
All the time.
It blew my mind when I discovered that, or I realized, I guess I didn't discover, I realized the House and the Senate, they don't go back till next year. There's not a fall session. It's just once a year.
How much are they making?
Well, I don't think, they make $38,000 a year. It's a lot, but what I would expect, I would like to shut back the spring session a little bit and open up the fall one.
Yeah.
Just because things happen so fast.
Resend me your bio. Send it to my 960 number.
Okay.
But Jordan, that's a constitutional issue.
Feed up
The longest process.
Okay.
Isn't it in the country? We have one.
It's up now.
It's in the world.
That's what I thought.
In the world.
Okay. Jordan,
Yes, sir.
Scott,
Yes.
and anybody else that has future plans for running for anything. The live feed does not shut off. We broadcast in 195 countries. So, if you're going to say something, be sure it is not incriminating to your campaign.
We learned the hard way.
Everybody's laughing.
I just need to leave now.
205. How long I got, Chris?
1 minute.
960.
There you go.
6034.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. The show is finished shift. We usually do the spotlight moment after our question of the week. But our spotlight moment is a teacher. And even though it's the summer and it's Friday night, guess what she's getting out of here to do? Go teach. That's how she gets to be who she is.
Wow.
So we're going to kind of move her around. In a moment, I'm going to want everybody's eyes to shift to the screen. We have a video that we're going to play that precedes her.
30 seconds online.
Yeah. Chinese children, English. Isn't that something? Right.
And she teaches 3rd grade already.
So we have 2 kids in college, so it's a really good. Yeah.
9 seconds going to college.
10 seconds. Joe, help me out. All right, y'all live. Y'all watch this video that's coming. I need you on the screen. It's on the screen.
I'm asking for a friend. Asking for my friend.
Okay, we are back. This is your girl D. GNT Live is in full effect. And it's time for us to do our spotlight moment. We're going to do it a little early tonight. Changes all the time. Change is good.
I saved 2 introductions. And here's the first. She is happily married to Joseph Kennedy with 3 sons, Marquise 20, Joseph Jr. 18, and Carson 13. She received a bachelor's in early childhood and elementary education from UAB. She was hired at Homewood City Schools right out of college as a kindergarten teacher. She was a kindergarten teacher for 13 years before moving to 3rd grade. She will begin her 3rd year as a 3rd grade teacher this fall. She went back to school in 2010 to get a master's in elementary education from UAB, and she continued her professional studies at Samford, where she received another master's in instructional leadership in 2012. Just this week, she finished the course load to receive her educational specialist degree in instructional leadership from Samford. She also serves as an instructional coach for new teachers. She is also an online English teacher of Chinese children. She was the Homewood City Schools Foundation Teacher Impact Award recipient in 2016. She is a member of the Worship Center, where she volunteers as a children's ministry worker. She's my big sister. Okay, I just wanted to add that in. I'm married to the family. And she is also the Plug Radio Network Teacher of the Month for the month of May. We always talking about finishing strong, and she finished the school year strong this year. And we want to highlight her and her achievements. We'd like everyone to turn their attention to the board as we present the song and introduce the others. Ms. Carnell.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How you doing today? My name is Keith Bridges. I'm here with 99.9 The Plug, and we are here at Shakespeare Hobby. Okay, so how long have you been knowing Mrs. Kennedy?
Oh, probably 10 years. As long as I've been here, I think we met a few years after, because she was kindergarten at the time and I was 3rd grade, and so she's on the other side of the building. So you don't get a chance to really interact with her younger teachers and teach younger kids. So once we finally got a chance to meet one another, we became good friends. So we actually became care departments.
How do you feel about the spotlight being shined on you very young?
To be honest, when Miss Kennedy said that she was getting this recognition, I was not surprised at all. She's a fantastic teacher, really great colleague. I was new to 3rd grade this year, and she's helped me out, gave me lesson plans, and helped me out through the year, so she's awesome.
Now that this highlight is being shined on Mrs. Kennedy, how do you feel about it being shined on one of your very own teachers and your fellow co-workers?
It could not happen to a better teacher. Miss Kennedy is a joy. What I love about her is she is always smiling. She is always happy. The other great thing I love about Miss Kennedy is she's always learning. She's always seeking ways to better help her students learn. And she's a mom. She's a mom of boys, and what I love is that once you are her student, you're also her kid, and she expects nothing less of you. She knows when her kids are doing well and when her kids are not giving their best, either academically or behaviorally, and she just brings out the best in every one of them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Shrewsbury, so much for this interview.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll be back next month.
All right.
So when you receive recognition for doing something that you love anyway, it's just icing on the cake.
Great, great. Well, I'm glad that we got a chance to sit down with you today. This was just a small portion of the interview. I'm sorry, we have to bring you into the studio on one of our live shows where we're going to present you a certificate and a plaque, giving you recognition and shining the light on you for Teacher of the Month. How does this sound?
That sounds great. I mean, I've never been on the radio before, so that would be a new experience for me. And like I said, to be recognized, I don't know who nominated me, but this is just a wonderful award. And my kids were so excited when I told them that you all were coming. And so I'm just so appreciative. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you. And we hope that this interview and what you're doing inspire teachers all across the world, because we are 99.9 The Plug, where we're keeping people connected with one download at a time. And this is our teacher.
Here you go, ma'am.
And as the host of D&D Live, this is the live show that we thought best fits you and your skill set. You are a diverse lady teaching diverse students, as you just stated, teaching children in China how to speak English.
Yes.
We want to highlight you for your dedication, for your hard work, and for your commitment to education. You truly shape the future.
You can cry.
We know, we know what you and the other teachers do is the most under-praised, under-highlighted, under-spotlighted job in the world, but yet you do it with such joy. Each co-worker we talked about, the first thing they spoke about is the smile that you greet everyone with and the joy with which you do your work. We know that every child that you're teaching will one day make a difference in the world. You have the next president. You have the next governor. You have the next mayor, the next District 2. You have the next mother. You have the next parliament.
Thank you. That's wonderful, though, Colonel. You really do inspire. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so we need to do our introduction. We got 2 more people to introduce, and we need to get on with the question of the week. Mr. Victor.
I'm coming.
It's not over.
Okay.
What Mrs. Scott Dawson says.
I'm
Everywhere. Go. Everywhere.
I am cleaning up, from one mess to the other. Give me 1 second.
That's
Get on
right.
Jay Johnson.
Once again, shout out to Bradley Lewis. We're waiting on you.
Okay. All right, I also want to highlight our other level of government that we said we had in today. If you're not aware, before we get to you, I want you to know that we have New South Coalition, Alabama, President everywhere, Jefferson County, chapter. All right, first. In the house.
Very white.
Also, we have Jordan Thompson, who is running for District 2 in the Roebuck community over here. And with the question of the week being, why is it important to vote on a local and state level? Next, we have a true patron for the people and a saint of God, a man that stands for change and stands for right. He is running for mayor of Birmingham. He says a buck for change. He doesn't want your money. All he wants you to do is know that your part was going towards a real change in today's society. He's out campaigning, petitioning every day, trying to implore the people to come out and vote. Only 22% of the city of Birmingham voted in last year's election, so he's out campaigning not just where the 22% are, but where the 78% didn't come out, raising awareness to issues, things that need to happen to be changed on the ground. He's investing into himself and his campaign. He's running commercial radio stations, getting video shot, and everything he's doing is all he's saying is let's make a change. Let's make a difference. Let's let God do something different with our city through us. I present to some and introduce the others, brother Fernandez Sims, the next Birmingham mayor.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Victor, can I have just one word? This lady. This lady.
Oh, he has a heart for the teachers.
Oh, I have a heart for the teachers. And especially this teacher right here. Taught my child.
She said that.
Prepared him, right? This fella, after he left our class, he wept for 2 days.
Oh.
Because he missed this teacher. I said, what happened? They said, I'll never see her again. I said, you will see her again. Who told you you wasn't going back to her? She said, she did. And he just wept some more. So, Miss Carnetta, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you've done for me. I can really say you deserve that because I'm a recipient of it.
Wow, thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, look at D&D Live. I'm about to cry with you. Okay, we have one more.
One of the things that we do at D&D Live is we like to highlight those people who are trying to make a difference and who are standing for change. Now, I've talked about the people who are running for office. They will get a title. They will get a flame. We've highlighted our Teacher of the Month. She has impressed priceless and timeless memories in the hearts of children, and she will be remembered forever. But we have another guy on the panel who holds a special place in our heart. He's affecting the lives of young men, and he takes no credit. He holds no title. And I know the work he does because the coordinator of the internship here at 99.9 The Plug and the Plug Radio Network was birthed from this young man. He speaks, the guy that interns love speaks so highly of him. I said, I got to meet him. Who is this guy? And when he came in with a spirit of confidence, a spirit of change, a spirit that said he wouldn't stand for foolishness. And I understood why he meant so much to the guy that I'm interning with right now. And to show how much he's poured into that young man, that man is the one who has started our newest radio. Well, hold on, let me retract. In case you don't know, we have 4 stations up and playing. The Plug Hip Hop, the Plug EDM, which is our electronic dance music, the Plug Blues and Gospel, or the Plug Blues and R&B, and the Plug Praise. Well, we have another station that's coming, and it's called the College Plug. And it's being birthed from the intern that this man helped groom and mentor. He was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a husband, he's a brother, he's a friend, he's a father. He graduated from Morehouse College in 2001 with a BA in Business Administration with a concentration in finance and marketing. He started interning with Bell South and AT&T in the summer of 1988. Was later
98. I'm sorry.
That's why God said he gave it to me for a help me. Come on, help me out. In the summer of 1998, which later on turned into employment immediately after graduating. He won many awards with AT&T, such as Top Gun Leadership Award, Business Building Blocks Invitee, Top 10 Sales Rep in the country for 3 months in a row. He achieved #1 sales rep in the country. He managed #1 sales in office and in the country. He stayed employed with AT&T until the end of 2011 and transitioned into the Senior Administration Counselor at Miles College. He was the top recruiter in 2014 and 15, and let me say in 2013 as well, because the young man that graduated, that's the year he recruited him. He expanded and increased his enrollment by 10%. He left Miles College for a senior territory sales manager position at DirecTV and AT&T. He had 6 call centers that answered to him, and 4 of his centers achieved rankings in the top 10 in the country. He decided to leave in March of 2017 and decided to dive into entrepreneurship, and they secured a deal with Metro PCS. He currently has 2 Metro PCS stores in Atlanta, Georgia, and is looking to open up a 3rd right here in Birmingham, Alabama. He is the president of Johnson's Media Group. He is a mass communication provider, and most importantly, he is a performer. I present the psalm and introduce the others, Mr. Jay Johnson.
I appreciate that.
All right now. All right, welcome to D&D Live, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you
Shout
so
out to
much for
Dr.
having me.
Cree. You right. Love to have you. All right, let's get on to the question of the week. Carnell, we won't let you answer it first because you got to go, and I need Brother Sims on the panel.
Okay.
So, why is it important to vote in your local and state election? We all know this answer.
Well, your vote is your voice. If you do not choose to run for office yourself, then you need to be able to choose who you want to run, the people, or who you want to be elected. You need to be able to hear what their platform is and see how they can affect change for you and your family and your children. If you want to, you can't complain about what's going on if you don't want to step up and do your civic duty and vote. That's just what we're supposed to do. You know, so many people died, especially, I stress to my children, for us to even have the opportunity and the right to vote. So, you know, you telling me that you're not going to vote, it's not an option. You should be able to
share your voice, and
right.
that's how you're going to do it, with your vote. And there's so many people who complain about what's going on, but when you ask them, did you vote, they're like, no. And they don't even know who's running, and you have no right to complain if you don't put in the work. That's how I look at it.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So first part is you want to be registered.
Mm-hmm.
DND Live is doing the registration drive. Get in touch with me. DND Live, Facebook, hashtag the voice of the people. I will bring the card to you. I will help you fill it out. We need to vote. You need to get educated on everybody that's running. Know your district people that's running. Know your mayoral candidates. Know your governor candidates. They are all important.
And not just worrying about you. You know, I know when my children were of age, that was something that was like, hey, we're going to go down and we're going to get you registered to vote. Same thing for my nieces, my nephews, my brothers, my sisters. You know, it's like, hey, did you go vote today? No, I didn't. You need to get up and go vote. Do you need a ride? I can come and get you. You know, make sure mom, granny, everybody gets out there to vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. Peanut gallery? Oh, no, too much is quiet. Did I catch you off guard?
No, I was just trying to give everybody else an opportunity because you know she got. I got plenty to say. You know she got.
I was just waiting on her to chime in.
I did a little research here. So not to make this about race, but of course, Black people, even with the implementation of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, Black people did not really obtain their right to vote until after the Voting Rights Act was passed. When 64, 65, when the Act was passed. And from my research that I've done, prior to that, there was about a 4% voter turnout prior to the Voting Rights Act. After that, it went up to about 59%. So that for that reason alone, the Selma to Montgomery march, or what was supposed to be the Selma to Montgomery march, is kind of what made the Voting Rights Act possible. It was televised. So a lot of people, they heard about the things that were going on in Alabama, but they had never visualized it.
Right.
And for them to actually have a visual of how people were being treated simply because they wanted the right to vote actually made Johnson go in and, you know, implement this act. So for that reason alone, if for no other reason, not necessarily because I want my voice to be heard, but for the mere fact that people bled and died for me to be able to
have that opportunity,
right,
you will want to
go out and I vote in every election. I don't care what the election is for. I'm going to make sure that I am out there to vote for that simple reason alone.
Awesome. Okay, Mr. West.
There's been so many struggles.
How many
things are in this job? And if you didn't know that, we had individuals who would go out of state and obtain an education. Here in the state of Alabama, as an example, lawyers are not attending the University of Alabama Law School. The state of Alabama paid for these individuals to go get their law degrees in other states. Just coming.
Right.
Civil rights or State Mason Davis, so on and so forth. And they would come back and they had to go through the process of passing a so-called literacy test.
That was already designed to fail anyway.
Right. So, and that was a struggle. There were marches, there was bloodshed, there were people killed.
Yeah. While the turnout is so low.
People aren't, people are not understanding the importance.
Exactly. What we have.
What we have.
Yeah.
We have Loca.
Yeah.
It's just democratic primary ballot. And some folks will decide to sit out. It affects all of us.
It sure does.
At all levels of government, elected branches, president, national level, state level, the mayor, at the municipal level, administrative level, and at the municipal level. Everyone makes sure that young people do that our interests.
Exactly.
So it's so important for people to get blood and eye boards.
And it's a sad thing because, like Veronica said, it's, you know, the African American community is, we're losing because we don't vote. Because we feel like my vote won't count, won't matter, but it does. You get 10,000 people saying that same thing, that's 10,000 votes. That's not happening. So then we're in the same place.
That goes through so much in it. Even when African Americans started voting, we voted mostly on the Democratic Party. And even when we went to the ballot, we would have a ballot with the rooster on it. That was the Democratic symbol at that time. That was the Democratic symbol at that time. And we would have a banner on front of it which would say that white supremacy. This was even in the early 70s. So we would go in and pull that ballot and vote Democrat. Because we thought that was the best choice for us.
Wow.
So it's very important for us to
Yeah.
have individuals and government politics affects all aspects of our lives. So we need to make sure that we have politicians in office who support our interests and the best.
And do what they say that they're going to do. I mean, I don't look at it as a race thing. I just look at it as an individual thing. If you the mayor and you say you're going to do this, then you should do it. You don't need 52 assistants. He doing
a lot of
it.
it happened because we had a small group of people that turned out to vote.
Yeah.
We have to know that we have something special.
Man. Yes.
And we've done some wonderful things in Alabama just for the last legislative session. We had this individual term, moral turpitude. You were convicted of a crime of moral turpitude, you cannot vote. So they've gone and found out where the so now
Yes, are able to vote now.
folks are able to vote.
I know, you know, a few people that were able to vote in November and had never been able to vote, and they were so happy.
That's right. And we talked about the literacy test, you know, back in the 60s. You have to be careful today. January 2017 of this year, in Jefferson County, United States, and Alabama, there are certain criteria that the state has developed to where voters can be purged from voting lists. And those are a lot of names on that list, and they supposedly send cards to every address to give you a chance to call in and go by the registry office and let them know that you are a legal registered voter and you want to vote. So we need to go out and make sure that you're registered and make sure that you are not purged. These are some of the same efforts in a different way that they use back in the 60s. They don't have to count the millions of government, but they will purge you from the list if you don't go and notify and make sure that the name of the voter registration vote. So,
we need to get a picture of that one.
How many in this room knew that this came out? December, January.
I didn't.
I did. Or December 2016. See that? Yeah. And a lot of names on there. Is your name on there? My name's not on there. You didn't even notice it.
No.
So voting is important. Or no voting is important because voting can make a difference.
Voting does make a difference.
In this city, in this county, in this state.
That's right. And in the country.
No.
Come on, Mr. Dawson.
We can talk about that.
Oh, okay. Come on, Sandy.
And
Ramp the host down.
Fill me up over here, girl. Get on to that microphone, girl.
Also, if you're a convicted felon and you have completed everything that you need, you can contact the parole board. You can go to one that's located on 2nd Avenue by that's Lost Furnace strip club. What's the name? The Furnace. Yeah, the Furnace. And you can go in there. Oh, sorry, no, yeah.
they go.
I do.
So, okay, I'm sorry. You can go in and you can give them have your ID, have valid ID, non-driver's license or driver's license, and they will let you fill out the paperwork and they will send it out for you. Make sure the address that you give is valid, because the paperwork that they're going to send out to your address is what you will need to, you know, it'll let you know that you have been granted your voting rights.
Okay.
Once you get that, then go register to vote. And a lot of people don't know that. They feel like, oh, no, it's one. No,
A lot of them
you
don't
can.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, if you're a felon and you completed everything you needed to complete, that you can get your voting rights back. So, and this place is where? By the
parole
Furnace?
board, yeah, on 2nd Avenue.
Okay, parole board on 2nd Avenue, guys. Get registered.
And I will.
You know, another thing you can do is register
You can do it right here. I got some forms on me.
and let them tell you that you don't qualify to be a registered voter.
If anybody's in this building and y'all need to get registered, I got some forms on me. That's
And
how
if-
important it is.
And if you're listening live, she is doing a traveling voter registration. Go to the website, DD Live, DDLIVE, WIC site, WIXSIT/DND Live 2016. Go to the site, fill out the information sheet at the bottom with your name and information. I'm coming with it, you know, because I got to protect it. But we coming. If you want to get registered, D&D Live will show up. Security and tow, but she'll be there.
All right, Scott Dawson, want to hear from you.
First, thanks for having me. It's an incredible panel you guys have assembled, and as we're looking at this question, to me, the principle, there's no success without sacrifice. And you look at the success we have today of the sacrifice of the people that have bled or have given the way for us to have this opportunity, that leads us to the principle of personal responsibility. I mean, one of the tenets of our government is of the people, by the people, for the people. We should understand we are the government. And so it reminds me of, I think it could be Edmund Burke, who said, the only thing that has to happen for evil to rise is for good people to stay quiet.
That's right.
And if we stay quiet, we really can't blame
You can't say
anything that's going on.
You don't have nothing to say.
The analogy in Alabama is always about football. So if you realize the guys that are on the field giving it their all, they don't have time to complain. It's only those that are in the stands that have not invested themselves in the process. So if we're going to get involved in the process, we can see an outcome of this, of someone that you do want to know the platform or the person. To me, though, I'm tired of people who will check the box and then go do anything they want to do. So I think you've got to know what someone's going to do, how they're going to do it. But the most important question to understand is, why is that person making those decisions? Because if you can understand why a person is making the decision, all their decisions then are going to fall into place. And so when you look at it, is a politician making their decisions based on polling? Is their decision based on, what the special interest groups are saying? Or is that person going to make a decision based on his or her firm convictions of their life? It's time for us to have convictional-led leadership.
Yes.
Not only in our state, but in our cities and in our communities.
That's right. I agree wholeheartedly.
Question, Mr. Dawson. So what's your prediction? And we talked about
Sure.
this
Absolutely.
before the show, so that's why I'm asking.
Absolutely. That's a great question for me. And personally, mine is to look through things through a biblical worldview. Because when you have a proper biblical worldview, the hard decisions are already made. You know, religious liberty. Some people are saying you're running for governor, you're going to create a theocracy. No, I'm not. A religious liberties is that Scripture teaches to treat everyone with respect. And that word respect means to hold in high regard. I may disagree with an individual, but that doesn't mean that individual becomes my enemy. I am still supposed to hold them in high regard. So as you're looking at this, I'm not intimidated by anyone else. My personal belief is that Christ came and lived a sinless, perfect life, died on the cross for me, resurrected, ascended to the Father.
Amen.
So I will allow anyone else to live out their faith in a peaceful manner. That's what makes America great. Condoleezza Rice said there's enough room in this society for all of us to get along with each other. So, I mean, that's where I come from, is a biblical worldview.
Love it. Y'all know he from Anson.
Yeah.
Hey,
the first time I met Jay, he asked me, he said, "Who do you pull for in the Classic? Do you know?" And I said, "I'm a Yellow Jacket. What's a Yellow Jacket? Always a Yellow Jacket."
That's all right. Mr. Jay Johnson been so quiet over there.
Not normal, huh?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lester.
Go ahead. When it comes to the voting, I guess I'm a little bit different. My thing is, it kind of started before they turn 18. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in high school, my junior year, we had an election, you know, for someone running for student body president. Well, the faculty would pick the person. We had a voting process, and it made us feel like our vote didn't matter. So when we was our senior year, we kind of protested. We said, "Hey, look, we want our vote to count." You know, because if this individual speaks to the administration and represent us, you know, in throughout the county and every other district, then we want to make sure that we get the person that we want. Even if it is a popularity contest, we want the person that we want. And it kind of transcended into college as well. One thing I can say about Morehouse, man, my Lord, you know, them brothers there, they ran for everything, you know, and fought hard. And that's one thing that our instructors taught us. You know, they was like, well, hey, you know, if you want to change, don't sit back and wait on it. Like, go out there and learn about it. Educate yourself. You know, listen to everyone. Like, we had a young Democratic Party, Independent Party, and Republican Party on campus. And so anytime we will have individuals who will run for certain offices, regardless of what their political affiliations were, we listen. You know, and that's one thing I love. Like, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Usually when I can't sleep, I turn on the BBC and listen to the Parliament. You know, because the way they make choices is hilarious. They actually boo you, you know, when they're like a decision, which is kind of funny, and they still wear the wigs. But to me, it's all about, you know, they're representing individuals. Like, C-SPAN is 24/7. If I can look at ESPN and SportsCenter all the time, then I can turn to C-SPAN and watch the House vote on certain things, as well as the Senate and whatnot. And then even when it comes down to a local level, I need to know who I'm running for. Who I'm voting for. You know, I live in Trussville, and I'm not from here, but everyone was talking about how great Trussville is. Trussville is this, Trussville is that. Okay, great. Houses look nice. School district looks good, but it's the people behind it that make it work. So when it was time for the new mayor to run, I went to, you know, hear them speak. I went to the town hall. There was one on the side of the highway that would wave as everyone passed. I pulled over and got out and talked to him.
I know that's right.
Mainly because I need to understand who is representing me. You know, who is the individual that I can get in contact with if something go wrong. Right. You know, who do I praise if something go right? And I can't condemn anyone for their political affiliations. My thing is they're a person.
That's right.
You know, and so when I met Scott, you know, it was odd because I was the only black person in the room. But it wasn't looked that way. You know, I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. I'm a person who wants to understand, what are you running for? Why? And as soon as he and I had that conversation, you know, beyond football and just about his views and things like that, his son was there, Rick was there. I mean, it was fantastic, you know, and immediately I said, okay, cool, I like this guy. Let me go ahead and do some more research, because who knows? You know, my thing is, if he is who he say he is, then I pray that he doesn't sleep.
That's
you know, because I want him up every day strategizing, trying to figure out how to win the race to better represent the state.
The state needed you.
And even though I'm not from here, I live here, and when I go out of town, I tell people I'm from Alabama. He and I said the same thing. I hate the fact that people say, well, what's going on with the governor? What's up with the mayor? Like, all this stuff like that.
My sister called me. She lives in Georgia. She said, what's up with the love gov? I'm like, really?
Right.
You wanted to call me and talk about that?
Right.
She said, y'all government is terrible there.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's
on down to the city, the mayor fighting.
Right. It's
terrible.
It's kind of embarrassing. But, you know, but listening to Dawson and even listening to Jordan last week, you know, and just every individual that's always been on this panel, you know, to me, it opened my eyes up because you guys are the voice of the people. They're the voice of the people as well. But all of y'all are my people. So I want to make sure that all of us are taken care of. And if we don't get out there and figure out who best represents us, then we're going to always forever be underrepresented. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And then, you know, I just wanted to highlight this because Jay is not an Alabama native, and neither am I. And we are so passionate about changing this place. Y'all got to give us something. We ain't born and raised here, but we doing the work.
Yeah,
they gave the best they had.
Shout out to
Jay. They gave the best they had.
So Jay, my question to you is, when are you gonna run for something?
Oh no, man! I got too many skeletons in my closet. And so look, it's so funny because my wife said that all the time. Because every morning I'm always looking at, you know, I flip through Fox, MSNBC, as well as CNN and other channels as well. And I love politics. I do. I think it's interesting. It's always something that keep you on your toes. But for the most part, I'm a guy who just like to just listen and learn about the candidates. I want to be able to touch the people who I can vote for. And if I can't touch them, you know, then it's kind of hard for me to connect with them. But those who I do get a chance to have a connection with, you know, like our governor is our president. That's our rock star. If I can touch our governor, then I felt like I met the rock star of the state. He or she are the highest person seated in the state. And, you know, to me, that just is awesome. I don't think I can handle those type of responsibilities. So Jay Johnson has officially telling everyone in the world, I am never running for any political office.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Never say never.
Never say never. Hey, I will support my wife if she ever decides to do so.
Hey, and she'll be awesome, and tell her I will be right there with her.
There it is.
Okay, guys, we have to go on a break, but I want to thank Carnetta Kennedy for coming in. Our spotlight moment tonight. Teacher of the year, because you are so great. Like, before my kids went to school, I would go and sit with her. She already had every school picture of her boys. I thought that was awesome. Every single year.
In a frame.
In like this, and it's like 3 of them now. And every single, like, it's
Kindergarten
awesome.
first thing.
I mean, you are great. You just need to know that. Keep
you.
doing what you do.
Thank you. Y'all are really good. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So we had to go on a commercial. Brother Sims will be on the panel next, and it's going down. D&D Live.
All right. All right, again, the live feed is live. So if you running for office, be careful what you say. I can take it down later, but I can't edit it now.
Thank you. I think I'm going to take a picture from Atlanta.
Hey, now, Jay.
You might be on there.
It's like a 2.5 minutes.
Jay Johnson,
Yes,
there
sir.
you go.
I know where that is.
There I am.
That's you in the back right there.
Oh yeah. Was that time I just on radio action?
Yeah, right there. That's why I got you on mute.
I would have made it. I'm serious. A teacher took time with me and invested in me. I guarantee everyone here will look back.
I'm Smithfield. She grew up 16 years in California. Other the next team, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just came looking at me. Tell them how you came in first. Tell them how you came in first. I told you said the first one is the last Fort Wayne, Indiana. You came looking for me.
I came looking for Mr. All right.
No problem. 50 seconds.
Where do you go?
where the rock is. So, all of the time, you guys involved,
I worked at KFC.
if we hold these people, this is a political
Dollar Tree.
probably
Tax Force Outdoors. I got my mic. I worked at a couple radio stations.
okay. They're making all
I'm sorry. Joy, get all the love.
Here's my first executive order that I'm promising teachers.
Man, we ain't gonna wait to keep Jordan away from TV live. Joyce, I'm coming every week next week.
Jordan, not he part of the family.
Joy get the call and say, y'all want me to get the chicken?
For real. You been on Twitch too?
I'm gonna go on a platform. I'm gonna make it a priority. That's okay. Everybody's gonna
She in town. Because he didn't know he was going to
I don't want our kids to grow up and move to another city. I mean, I want to
And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Yes, sir. I appreciate brevity, sir. That's right.
One gentleman that
No, but I'm gonna put some wind to it now. All right. Hey, you again. I just saw you last night.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, been a lot of fun last night. I did. And I need your backing, sir.
We're having a meeting on our next regular meeting on the west side. At 3 o'clock. West End Library.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up.
Just look on my Facebook.
Okay. I should certainly do that.
Put our events out there.
Okay, I should certainly do that. I probably won't be to any more breakfasts anytime soon.
You know Bob is president of that, right?
Yeah.
He's the right-hand man.
I know. Me and Bobby have had some conversations.
Things like this gentleman right here.
I don't think we miss you much, child. We have. I know about you, though.
Oh, and I know about you. I've heard a lot of good stuff.
Have you? Well, good.
What is he, second grade, third grade?
He's in the third grade now. He's going to the third grade. He cried for 2 days after when he found out he was not going back to her class.
Because I told him he could not stay in kindergarten.
That's what it was. He could not stay.
I said, you are just too smart. He couldn't stay. I said, you could not stay.
Yeah.
I got to push you.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more.
It's good to meet you.
Congratulations. All right, I'm going to give you some of that.
Can you take a picture for me?
Yes.
Let him take a picture.
Okay.
2 minutes. And the light is going to go nuts. 2 minutes.
How many minutes? 2 minutes, y'all.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute. He is going to love this.
And the number is on here?
It's on the back.
Okay.
And he's married to call.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said 2 minutes.
She knows what he
Excuse me, yo. We got a minute and a half until we live. What you think,
Yes.
I'm going to tell Rick and Bubba on call. I need some That's it. 1 minute. Oh, nobody. Because Birmingham is a city that's
Anyway.
They know that that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so on purpose.
So we're going to talk to them.
Brother Sam, they get ready to go live.
All right. Going live.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You have 2.
I got planned up.
Right. Yes.
15 seconds.
That made me happy, by the way. enjoying yourself before? You enjoying yourself? Say that again. You enjoying yourself?
It's all right. Yeah, that's cool. How about you?
Yes, plus new music.
I'm playing with it.
Okay. All right, everybody, we're back. D&D Live is in full effect. And before we get back on our topic of the week, why is it important to vote in your local and state election? I want to hear from George Thompson.
Hey, y'all. Well, I think everybody that's spoken has really hit on a lot of important factors. You know, everybody, a lot of the underrepresented groups have gone through a lot to have the opportunity to vote. And people are still going through struggles to have the opportunity to vote. People don't have access to getting their licenses and other things of that nature. But Jay, I really like what he had to say. And I like people like Jay because he seems like he gets educated before he makes decisions. And he's not just going to vote for a person because they have a certain name or they look a certain way or they feel a certain way, but because they have certain issues and they have solutions and plans to solve those issues. And am I wrong, Jerry? Or do you
Oh no, you're 100% right.
Thank you. And I wish more people educate themselves. So that first step obviously is registering to vote. I think the next step is educating yourself. And we can't always depend on others to educate us. We can't always depend on one news station or one news outlet. We have to go across multiple news outlets that might not be biased or they might be biased in one direction. So that's why you have to look at different news outlets and get your information from different sources. That way you can have multiple perspectives and you can form your own opinion about why you might vote for somebody. And you should question everything. Get to know candidates on a personal level, not just a political level, and say, okay, well, this person goes to my church. Well, that's great. But what else do they do? What do they plan on doing for your community?
What are their morals and values?
Exactly.
That's a big deal.
Exactly. I think it's really important, that education step, and I'm sure a lot of the other people in this room can speak on the education aspect, so I'll yield my time.
All right. Brother Sims, how are you?
I am doing very well today. How about
2017 Birmingham Mayor candidate.
Yes, ma'am. And I tell you what, we're in a fight.
Yes, sir.
And what I would say to anyone, even connected to our subject about the importance of voting, is that we do have a moral obligation to do it. We talk about issues of right and wrong or good or bad, things of value. A vote is a valuable thing.
Yes.
And not only does it give you opportunity to have a voice, but it gives you liberty. We look at a vote as just trying to put a person in office, but it gives you liberty because whoever you put in the office can either give you freedom or put you in shackles. And what we want is a government that frees the people. Mr. Dawson was saying, of the people, by the people, for the people. Abraham Lincoln said that, said, never perish from the earth. But what will perish from the earth is that we don't exercise our right. If you don't exercise your right, it can get taken away. So what we want to do, we want to look at our leaders. We want to look at the candidates that are running for office. And I certainly agree with Jordan that we need to educate ourselves. Look at the track record. And it can show you, right now we just saw, and I've spoken out against this too, is that we have a nation that's driven by money, and we just saw that an elected leader is pleading guilty to this horrible thing, this horrible thing of making people live in poison for money. Now there are some shackles there, but it's money that has the shackles.
Bondage.
But we can free the people by electing people that will actually serve the people and not themselves. And that's what we want.
Question for Brother Sam.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you want to do to make the city different? And I've asked this to each and every candidate that has come in here. We have political ties, basically. Politics. We have all of our candidates for our current administration is more so a political administration, that they're more so concerned with political antics than they are the people of the city. So what makes you different, Brother Sam?
Well, what makes me different, first of all, is I'm not a politician. I'm in a race for a political office, but I'm not a politician. I'm a servant. And I think that we have to understand that we look at these offices as if they are, some people look at them as if they're a position of power, but it's actually a position of servitude that we serve people. It should be a servant leader is what it should be. It shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't be about pay for play. It shouldn't be about, I can't spend the money on signs, right? Educate yourself. Don't vote for a sign. Educate yourself about a voter. But what would I do different? First of all, I wouldn't lie. I won't cheat. I won't steal. My books will be open. Matter of fact, one of my platforms is that we'll have, the books will be open. Every check that's written will be online. We want to attach Social Security numbers and tax ID to every check that's written. We want to follow the money. Our money's disappearing, and that feels we can't educate children. If we had the money, 90% of 8th graders in Birmingham City Schools can't do math. That's horrible.
I think I want to say 95%.
But I'm just saying what they're telling us. And 70% can't read. We should be outraged. Our hearts should be broken for these children. And it's not. And it's not. And we need someone that will stand up for them and for these communities. The people need a voice. Just like we're sitting around this table, people need to be at the table.
They do.
They need to have a voice. They need to have some control of their destiny.
That's why we're doing what we do.
Do it, do it live. That's what I say. But thank you for that. Thank you for that question. And every mayor should be able to answer that.
Yeah.
And as mayor, it's going to be an open book.
Some run around and dodge it.
The only thing you won't be able to see is what goes on in my bedroom or in my, my house, something like that. But everything else.
Okay then.
All right, yeah. I just want to be transparent.
Now,
yes,
we don't want you to be that transparent.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. But this is serious. This is serious. What you're doing here is giving a voice to the people. We have to educate ourselves. Now you can find out about candidates just online. I have a 35-year track record that's verifiable in serving my country and community. So I have no problems like that. Somebody's talking about skeletons in the closet. I used to be a stand-up comedian. Of course I have some skeletons, right? But those things don't shackle me.
They don't
because
define
I'm free.
you.
Right, I'm free from
Right.
that,
No,
right? So, I appreciate that, boss.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but he got some. He don't. Fellow over there said he got some.
Jay said, "I'm not here for running. I'm not running for nothing."
Not at all.
That's right.
Somebody told me though, if you don't have any skeletons in your closet, don't worry, they'll put them in there for you.
I just don't want to add anything extra to the ones that are there.
They will.
But nah, yeah, nothing bad. But just my thing is, I don't like living my life in a fishbowl. Just being honest. And so, to me personally, when I go home to my wife and we hang out, we can decompress and be ourselves. And I don't have to worry about someone camping outside my house, going through my trash, or asking me to speak on things that I have to learn quickly about. And I don't want to say anything dumb because I will forever be tagged, and that will follow my daughter as well.
Yeah,
so, to me personally, I personally appreciate individuals who go out and do this, because the fact that if it wasn't for individuals who were like y'all, everyone that's here, running for these offices, then it wouldn't give me the opportunity to show my daughter what right looks like.
Right.
I can say, well, hey, your dad is messed up, not too bad, but when these individuals here are champions for us, and they don't mind taking that pressure. And one thing I learned in politics, people don't run for office for the money because the pay isn't that well.
Some do.
But my thing is, at the end of the day, it's more so about the influence and the power that comes behind the title. And that was always it. I was always taught the president only makes so much money per year. These individuals can make 30 times that amount, but it's the simple fact that in that position, they're able to do things that influence world views. So to me, when I find an individual who I know, who may have a heart of, gold and, just really want to do right, then I'll latch myself on to that individual. And even if they lose, it doesn't mean that they're bad. Hey, this just wasn't your time.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to not follow you as well. Like, even those who won, I'm still going to follow you because now I got to watch you closely to see, what can I do to help you get better. And it's not about that. I may not like, individuals might not like who's in our commander-in-chief. Me personally, I've heard him speak on so many different occasions, you know, and some of the things that Donald Trump has said has influenced my life tremendously that I would never, ever, ever take away from that. So it's sometimes when I sit back and listen to some of the things he said, yeah, you know, I mean, he can go out the handle sometimes, a lot of times, 90% of the times, but it doesn't mean that when he's at home at the table with his kids, you know, his grandkids and his wives, you know, the third one, second one, or the first one, you know, at the end of the day, that man take his shoes off, take his socks off, and take his tie off, and he's a man, he's a dad. You know, he's a lot of things. And so, to me personally, even him deciding to live his life in that same fishbowl, I got to figure out a way to help him be better. You know,
well, and I agree. I agree. Now, I'm going to say something to some of your statements. Bless his heart.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to say something to some of your statements. I agree that when you're at the end of the day and with the children, your dad. But when you're the head of the most powerful nation in the country, and you lack wisdom to not even know how to speak to others in a kind way, I have a problem with that. I have a problem because it shows a deeper issue that when you don't respect others, then you can treat them any kind of way. And that's a problem. You said a word better. My campaign is better schools, better community, better government. We need a better government. We need better schools. We need better communities. And the way that happens is that people of integrity stand up and say, I'm a flawed individual, but I want to serve, and I want to do my best to serve the people in the best way. What Donald Trump has shown me is that sometimes he doesn't care. Now, I pray for Donald Trump, right? He's our leader. And if he said go to war, I'm in the paint. I'm a patriot. But I have the power to vote also. And we should be able to use that, the power of the vote, to effect the change that we want in life. I mean, we got a judge over here. He had to run, right? And I tell you, this political race feels like I think I told Dee and Victor, it's like it stepped into a barrel of snakes. Yeah. It's so slimy, right? I get along with all the candidates, but there's some dirty tricks going on out there. It's unbelievable. You didn't pay for that sign. What are you doing pulling it up?
No, I agree.
Oh, Jordan Thompson.
What is with that?
He just, in my friend's business, who I personally asked if I could put the yard sign in his yard, somebody pulled my sign up. Yeah. That's just rude. You don't do that. That's not respect.
Oh,
I know we're in politics, but there's a line of respect that you need to maintain. And that results.
They drive around in pickup trucks.
Exactly.
And load them up.
I like fairness. So when I went down to qualify the other day, one of the candidates I was running against wasn't listed as a District 2 candidate. I'm not going to say who it was. I had to correct them to make sure that candidate was on the correct ballot. Because that's how we're supposed to be thinking, out of fairness. Somebody made a mistake, but we correct each other because I want people to have the option of somebody that was intending to run for the correct spot, right?
But I think, I can't remember who said the word, but it's respect. Everything is respect. And regardless of how I feel about you, regardless of how I feel about your opinions, your beliefs, at the end of the day, and that's why I like being live. Dee get me together all the time. She get me together. She be like, hold up, wait a minute. And I just smile and say, okay. But that's respect. She respectfully gets me together. And so, you know, I mean, but seriously, I accept that, you know, because it's out of respect. She's not disrespectful when she's doing it. She's not trying to belittle me. She's not trying to degrade me.
Oh, no, because you're ready for anybody.
But she lets me know when I'm wrong or when I'm speaking on something she don't believe in. But that's what we don't do. Instead of us respecting each other's opinions, we like to fight and we like to argue. That's not the way to handle it, especially in a political forefront. One of my friends who lives in Wisconsin, we had everything going on with the governor, you know, she would call me and she would be like, girl, is that your governor on TV? I'm like, yeah, that's him. She was like, is he really doing all this stuff? Yeah, he probably did. And so you, just like somebody else said, I was embarrassed when the fight took place at City Hall. My same friend called me, she was like, girl, they get the fight at City Hall. I'm like, yeah, they got the fight. She was like, what is going on down down there for everything.
And we still don't know about the shootout.
But
on
we
the
know
interstate.
about the shootout on the interstate with this you got a $2 million security detail.
Thank you.
Why
52
is somebody
assistants.
shooting? Why is somebody shooting at you? You got
Because you a gangster, you're not a
that we
mayor.
paying for, and somebody's still shooting at you. But don't even get me started on that. But again, back to my original statement: respect. Regardless of how I feel about what our president, I don't like a lot of things that he do, but because of his position, I respect him. And respect has been lost in the political arena. All respect has been lost in the political arena.
So Gandhi said, and I make the world go on. Regardless of if you bring somebody or not, you're only going to move better if you're together and you're full.
That's right.
So we've got to unite on a lot of different fronts. Only one person is going to win each election. You're going to have to continue working with those people. If they are leaders in their community, as they set themselves to be, they're going to want to continue working with you once you win your position. So regardless of disagreements, you're still going to have to work together and unite to move our city forward.
I've talked to just about every mayoral candidate except for one, and we like they like me and I like them. Now some of them may want to get at each other, but we've all said when the dust settles, we should work together, and that's what's that's what's important. That's what's important, that you work together and build that coalition to serve the people. This is not about a race or a title. Someone said this is a race for the people. That's what it all should be. That's where our focus should always be. Justice for people.
All right, Brother Sims. Welcome back.
You've been quiet over there. Now you have a whole lot to say. You haven't been saying anything. Come on now, let the people know.
Well, and I think that's part of respecting one another.
Okay, I'll let you respect it.
That's that R word again.
Yeah, I really feel like we've lost a little bit of civility in our society, that everybody wants to scream to be heard. And if we're ever going to move forward, you're going to have to seek to understand before being understood. And so you turn on the television, ESPN, it's not even sports any longer. It's people screaming at each other. And we wonder what's happening. It impacts our society. Jay, I appreciate you wanting to decompress and be with your family. I tell people, I am who I am. I mean, I'm going to be the same guy that I am in this radio station, that I'm going to be out with my family. I've lived since I guess I went public in ministry. I kind of lived like, if someone wanted to walk in and say, could we have a few minutes with you? I wasn't thinking, oh no, what did they find out? I was like, all right, let's discuss this, And when you walk into the arena of public service, somehow it has been transformed now to a special privilege of a few. And I go, how did our country ever develop into a system where we have professional politicians, or let me just use the term career politicians? You should serve, do what you can do, and then get on with your life. I'm not looking for a career change. To be honest with you, if I was looking for a career change, there are about 30 of them ahead of being in politics, okay? But if we can impact people. Someone asked, I think this has been around in Alabama for a long time, why would you run for office? And they said it's either greed or power, and both of them are addicting. I think there's one other aspect of why someone would run for office, and that's for impact. If I can impact people, that's what I live for. I want to make sure our communities are better. I want to make sure our cities are moving forward. I want to make sure people are not embarrassed about being from the state of Alabama. This is the sweet home Alabama. 4.8 million Alabamians. If we can impact them and make this state and get us going forward in education, man, our teacher of the year, they're doing an incredible job. You know what we have to do? We have to get education back into the classroom and out of the hands of special interest. One of my first executive orders will be that Board of Education cannot meet without the governor being present. Because if you go back and say, the governor, they go in for the photo ops and then they leave. Well, my goodness, these are the people who are making the decision for our children, okay? And we elect the Board of Education. I would hate to take a poll right now to think of people in this room who could identify 3 of the 7 who serve on the State Board of Education. Y'all are probably more knowledgeable than people outside this room in political arenas, but I would be stretched to name 3. I could probably name 2, but there's 7. Well, they make all the decisions for our education. Guys, it's time for us to put it back into the classroom.
That's right.
I want to bring teachers together. Everyone's trying to get rid of Common Core. Common Core is a standard, but I don't want someone for Chicago or California telling us how to educate our kids.
That's right.
If I'm going to sacrifice years of my life to serve, I want the best teachers in our state to come together and say, what are Alabama's standards? How are we going to teach Alabama children to be the best they can be? Now, this may disagree with some people, but personally, I don't think every person needs to go to college. I don't think that's a requirement to have a great life.
We've dissected that as well. You know, we agree with that.
Workforce employment needs career tech, has to be at the forefront, and you can make a great living and have an incredible life if you get the foundations of the elementary and high school in place.
They have to read first. They have to learn how to count first before they do anything else.
Foundation.
I've spoken in 2,000 junior and senior high schools across the country. If people want to know what my platform would be, because everybody's trying to, what's your platform? You know, my special interests are students. I want them to have the greatest education opportunity possible, but I don't want them to grow up and have to move to another city to get a good job. I'm tired of people having to get in a car and drive across the country to go visit their grandkids. Let's have our grandkids growing up here. So there's a big process together, and it's not going to happen by just electing one person. If you elect someone who has all the answers, you've elected someone that's got a blanket over your eyes. It takes a team. It takes someone that gets together people who have got advice and expertise in places that I've never gone and come together.
Not afraid to take.
Right, to learn. To learn. That's what we're all doing. If you stop learning, you die.
That's right.
And so for me, as I go into this, man, I don't have all the answers. But I can get some people together and we can come up with the best solution for our state. So that's what we're running for.
That's right.
Love it.
Does that help you?
It does. You know I've fallen in love with you, Mr.
I'm telling you, Veronica, you're not alone, girl.
we have to come back here.
I just feel like with the school board, since you brought it up, Mr. Dawson, I don't know you, but I'm going to get to know you.
Okay.
I got some questions.
Dawson somebody know.
Yeah, I am too. I am too.
That's what I'm saying.
Plus sugar. But anyway, well, with the school board, I want to say it was 1988, 89 is when they changed. We had a superintendent named Mr. Brown, and he came from out of state and changed. And from 88 to now, we've had more superintendents from out of town. It makes no sense. You have no roots here. You have no concern, and that has dried us dearly. Because you get here and you do what you want to do, and you have, which I haven't heard of any physical fights at the school board, like with the mayor and the councilman. But I have been to school board meetings, and it's
no working together.
Working together. Then the next thing you know, we're having to find another one. But you have people here. It's too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
That's right.
But you have enough people here that are qualified, that have gone to school.
Yeah.
They can't find jobs, or nobody wants to give them a chance. But you'll have 10 candidates come in
from out of
and
town.
you'll have them do all this stuff, and then you pick one of them. You don't even look at your own. It's just not fair. So that's to answer some of your question with the school board.
Well, let me say a little bit about the school board. I can remember all my life I've always been interested in politics, even as a wee lad. But I can remember being last. Excuse me, last.
We know
that's the correct enunciation. I'm sorry. Well, a boy, a girl, y'all know.
Come on, not too much.
When I was younger, I've always taken in politics, but I can remember Birmingham City School Board being an appointed school board. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
Well, anyway, when I remember when the school board was appointed, we didn't have all of this politics that we currently have. So saying all that to say, maybe having an elected school board is not the way to go, because since this elected school board has been here, we have not had any stability. And kids look for stability.
Mhm.
Like, growing up as a child, that was the one thing that kept me sane, was stability. I went to the same elementary school, middle school, high school, stable, stability. We didn't have, like Sandy said, we've had more superintendents.
That's right.
In the past 10, 15 years,
Right.
than Birmingham City Schools has probably had in its entire existence. And I'm not
So,
exaggerating.
Veronica, you are in the school system. Do you think that could be why the schools are failing?
Well, I actually teach on the collegiate level. Now, I'm in and out of the schools at my regular part-time job, but I think the schools are, let me go back to my beginning, my roots. I came from Central City. I went to elementary school in Central City. That was a housing project, Metropolitan Gardens. I went to Powell Elementary School. I was literally invincible. There was nothing that I couldn't do. My teachers taught me everything. From kindergarten through the 5th grade, I learned absolutely, positively everything there was to know. Our kids aren't getting that now.
No,
that's right.
And I think that's more so the problem. We don't have the parental involvement. Like my dad was the PTA person. Not taking anything away from my mom, but my dad will be like, well, no, you don't have to go out.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
him.
And so we don't have the parental
I'm
involvement.
usually at work, and Mr. Victor does. I mean, he works too.
But yeah,
But
so I mean,
when I come to the school, they're looking at me like I might be the sister, like I'm a mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
They
the
know
thing.
him.
We don't have the parental involvement. We have the teachers, and our teachers are highly educated and highly qualified.
I think so.
But we're not giving them what they need in
Right.
order to make sure they're doing what they need to do in the classroom.
Most of the teachers I've talked to, they're having to be, not only the teacher, they're having
The
to
mother.
be disciplinarian and the parent in the class.
That's what I was going to say. It starts at home too, not only inside of the school system. It starts at home.
It has to start at home.
Yeah, because as we talked about in the beginning, my kids are in the Hoover school system, and I found that it was different when I go to PTA meetings, that it was a packed house, or at basketball games, at football games, that it was packed around the stands because the parents support them, and then the parents set the examples over here. But when you go to the other side, there's not many at PTA meetings.
Well,
You know,
let me
and
speak
when we
to that.
register for school, we have to pay those dues up front. There is no you pay later or you pay when you come. You're going to pay those up front because we need to know your involvement in the beginning. And like I said, I'm a product of Birmingham City Schools, but I would not trade where my kids are for nothing at work.
Let me say this, and that's almost a shameful statement.
It
to
really
say.
is.
It
It's
is.
a shameful statement. to
Brother
say.
Sims, I agree.
But what I would want to say to you is that, as mayor, Birmingham School is going to change. Because what we're going to do too.
Oh, my kids, they finna be grown now, so it
That's okay. There are 25,000 students. There are 25,000 students in the Birmingham school system. And and yours are going to be moving on out somewhere. But what I'm saying is this. We can't leave these children behind. We left their parents behind. And that's why you don't see very much parental involvement. Part of what I want to do is work closely with the board and superintendent, is that it would be mandatory. If you have a child that is enrolled in school, there has to be some parental or guardian involvement. You just can't go to school and not be involved, have parental involvement. This would be mandatory. And we can do that, but we have to understand too that sometimes we have a single mother that works at Dollar General and she rushes off to Popeyes for another 20 hours and really don't even have any insurance with Medicaid. And we have to make time for them too. Instead of just having, the schools, they come to the schools to meet between those hours, we can go into the community and meet with the parents also. We need to get the whole community involved with our schools. And part of what we're going to do, we're going to have to involve the whole community. We're going to have to involve the whole community. You have churches and businesses that are surrounding the school, and they don't even reach out to help out. Oh, you can monitor a hallway, or you can help the children cross the street. It doesn't take rocket science.
Right there, saying that right there,
Yes, ma'am.
you know how many deaths we had in Birmingham City with children crossing the street to get to school this
That's
year?
right. And one of those deaths was a little girl.
Yes.
She got hit.
Yes.
And,
That's why.
And our mayor blamed the parents. That why wasn't you there? Anyway.
That's why I brought that up, because of that little girl.
That was
if we
horrible.
just had more community involvement, maybe her parents were at work, She was walking with a group of kids to
It
school.
would have malfunctioning traffic light.
Exactly.
So
So it's so many to blame for that situation right there.
That's right.
So you don't want to point fingers at
That's
all.
right.
You just want to try to make a resolution to the
The
situation.
statement could have been, you know, that this child has died and our hearts are broken.
Exactly.
And that could have been it. And we'll get to the
Mr.
bottom
West,
of it.
come on in.
Well, I think we've hit on all of it. I don't think it's one answer. I think
No, that's
part
right.
of it is electing the correct officials in the offices. Part of it is parental involvement. Part of it is the community being involved. Part of it is the church being involved. I don't think there's one answer. You know, I don't know how you force or enforce making a parent come to a PTA meeting. It would be great if the parents would come there, but we got a lot of poor parents, a lot of parents working two or three jobs maybe. They just can't. So, you know, maybe neighbors and family and the community.
That's when the
and
community need to step in.
Have to jump in. So I think it's.
And it's okay to
And that's
help.
that's also true too. But let me tell you another thing about
Yeah,
us,
Mike, cha-cha.
about us as people. We make time for what we want to make time.
That's
for.
right.
We go where we want to go. If somebody was saying they was giving us a trip for free, we'll take off our jobs to do that. So don't use that as an excuse because, like I said, I work too. I was a regional. I traveled, and I had 2 kids, and I was a single parent too, and I had to do what I had to do. But
Still
I
is a
still
single
made,
parent.
you know, I still is a single parent, but I made accommodations so people will do what they want to do. I don't care if they work at McDonald's. The first train smoking, they gonna do it.
And
So
she
that's
is-
not
she
an
is
excuse
exactly
too. They
right.
latchkey kids too.
You can
these
Skype.
days.
You can
She is exactly
Skype
right.
a parent.
You can do
We
whatever
need
you
to
wanna do.
make our kids a priority.
That's right.
But you know, again, it's not one size fits
That's
all.
right.
Some
Holistic
parents
approach.
really have to work. Some parents, you know, may use it as an excuse, and they shouldn't do that. And you know, we just gonna have to try to work together and make it work as a team,
I
as a
agree with that.
community.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Victor.
Hello, Dashita. How are you?
I'm well. Haven't heard from you all night. Been behind the scenes.
Cleaning up and support.
Good old sponsor.
Just piggybacking off of what Mr. West said, the holistic approach. And it's the reason that we support D&D Live. She gives a voice back to every avenue. Whether it's the single parent, whether it's the married family, whether it's the community approach, whether it's bringing in mentoring.
Whether
groups.
it's the youth that's troubled.
I like everything that's being said. Most important, I like how every time an issue is highlighted, somebody comes behind it with a solution to try to solve. We know we won't have all the answers, and we can't solve each and every problem, but each and every solution can solve one problem.
And one thing too, not to cut you off, Mr. Victor.
No, go ahead.
This platform, you know, want to shout out Bradley Lewis and the Plug Radio Network because this platform really lets listeners and viewers see and get to know these people that they will not get to know on a regular basis. They're not going to see Mr. Dawson at the Family Dollar. They're not going to see you.
They've seen me.
They're not going to, well, you know what I'm saying.
I know what
So
you're saying.
this is wonderful for people to be able to know who you guys are, to know what you guys stand for, because it's needed.
They saw Jordan back there at yoga this weekend.
You know, the Jordan Thompsons and, you know, just everybody that comes in and believes in the show and wants to have their voice heard. I want to thank you all for coming.
Well, you guys
Thank
are
you for
everywhere
inviting
too
us.
now, though.
I appreciate that.
Thank you
so much,
Put
Victor.
us everywhere.
I move at the behest.
I do have a question real quick.
If my
I guess.
wife demands that I just try to produce it 13 years, 3 kids later, I couldn't ask for a better one. That's all I'm saying, man.
You got that.
You know.
He knows the right answers.
I do have one question real quick. I guess my thing is, you know, looking at the school system and all the issues, what I'm noticing now more is the ability to go to school online. You know, from, I'm talking like high school level and things of that nature.
Khan Academy.
Exactly. So I guess my question is, you know, what can we do, or what can be done to deter individuals to, instead of staying home and going online, to actually want to and stay on campus? I mean, go to school at a campus or whatnot. And the reason why I ask that because if my child went to school online, it's a lot of things they're missing. You know, a lot of social skills. But on the flip side, I don't have to worry about someone coming in and bullying my child, nor, you know, turning the school out. So, you know, it's kind of up and down. And then now that's also transcending into college. You know, I joke around with my friends who are in higher ed, and I mean, when I was in higher education, we always said that, you know, nowadays my daughter would never know what a dial tone sound like. I'm now afraid that when my daughter's 18, she won't know what a college campus feels like. Because now it's so easy for you to go to school online. Well, it's not easy, but it's available to go online, to where now even kids who are on campus still have virtual classes. You know, so my question would be, you know, what can we do to offset? I mean, you talk about the kids in Birmingham and, you know, the school system and how it's flawed, but right now, you know, online is going to take precedent. You know, and so if an individual says, hey, I don't want to go, I don't want my kid to go to that school, and say, I know Miss Shantae said her kids go to in the Hoover system, which is a good system, good school system. And, you know, Mr. Dawson's kids graduated from Spain Park, you know, it's school. And I was talking to Jordan, we were talking about North Atlanta, and how he went there, it was rough, but now it's a $36 million facility, you know. And so I guess my issue is, you know, if it's that bad, then why would I want my kid to go there, or why not bust my behind and put him in a better school system? You know, and that only perpetuates the issue as well.
It really does. And before you get started, one of our panelists, I'm sorry.
Respectfully.
I didn't know.
She did. She know.
But one of our panelists, Lavelle, you know, he moved from the inner city to
Connecticut. Yeah.
To Maylene, Alabaster area.
Alabaster.
And his kids went through like a transitional period.
Right.
Some of them was very happy to be there. You know, they were able to focus more, and the classrooms were quieter. And then other kids kind of struggled because the culture shock. So what would you say about that?
Well, I think personally,
and then, you know, different.
Right.
Right.
So with my daughter being a Trusvillian, okay, I don't know if that's what they call themselves, but that's what we call ourselves. You know, the thing about it is, you know, we're teaching her not to see color, right? But she came home one day and she noticed the difference. She was like, you know,
and she's so little.
Right, and she was like, Mommy, I'm brown and my teacher is not. She was like, I don't look like my classmates. You know, my wife was like, well, it doesn't matter what they look like, you're all beautiful. And so, you know, my thing is the culture shock only will come if there isn't any expansion of the culture of that child. You know, to me personally, it's all about, okay, great, what can I expose my child to? My child's 3 years old and she's been to 2 different countries and 4 different states already. And we're continuously trying to expose her to different things so that way she can become more well-rounded to identify herself with other people. And so to me personally, the culture shock that she's going to have to face is not necessarily on a racial level. It's more so me going to have to explain about also, you know, why Billy has 2 dads and why Diane has 2 moms and stuff like that. And then, you know, don't let them be interracial, you know, type same-sex marriages or whatnot. But to me personally, I think the problem with anyone that is culture shock is, okay, let's address whatever the issue is and let's see how we can do something different. Are they having play dates with these kids? You know, are they doing things to engulf themselves in their new community? You know, I mean, just a number of things. And it could be even if that parent may be having that same culture shock as well. You know, I mean, you can move into a nicer neighborhood and say I live in this very affluent area, but I mean, if you're not involved in the community on that level too, then you too are going to a stage of culture shock. So your kid is watching you not be involved in this area, but you still keep going back to the area where you was most involved, which may be in the inner city. And that's what they gravitate to as well. So my thing to that person, you know, Mr. Lavelle will be, okay, cool, I understand. And he's a man of the city. He is. You know, I heard him speaking. He deals a lot with the inner city youth, which is great. But what is he doing for the students who are not inner city? Because if his kids don't see him doing anything for the kids that are not in the city, and they're in the area where they're not in the inner city, then how can they adapt when he keeps putting them in an inner city environment?
You better.
So,
Mr. Johnson in the building.
Miss Veronica has a
Come on, though, too much.
Save me.
It was more so a quote when we were talking about Mr. Johnson was kind of talking about school. But Albert Einstein said everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And that is kind of something that I I hold dear and dear to me, because with the online education, with vocational ed, we have to take each one of these kids for what they are. So some kids are going to thrive in that online environment. Some kids are going to thrive in the classroom. Some kids are going to thrive doing both ends. We just got to find what's best for the individual. And I think that's part of the problem. We made learning so standard until we're not reaching anybody. We're not reaching anybody. So I think that's, more so what we have to do. We have to
be more diverse too.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of these kids, and what some people don't realize, is that school is an escape for some of them. It is. Some of them don't have good home lives. Personally, I kind of just started talking about this more. My father was in prison half my life, in and out. We have a great relationship now, but it was tough growing up in an environment like that. There was a period where it was just my sister and I raising each other. Freshman year of high school, I had a 1.7 GPA. I just graduated law school a month ago. My saving grace was after school programs. I got involved. I played football, I played tennis, I wrestled, I was in the Spanish club, guitar club. Whatever it was, school was my saving grace. That's where I stayed, that's where I learned, that's where I had friends. I was the only white guy on the football team. And when Hurricane Katrina happened and a bunch of kids from New Orleans came, they saw the white dude in the school and they wanted to beat me up. But since I was on the football team, all my buddies had my back. They were like, he's straight, don't worry about him. But if I didn't have those friends, I would have been lost. I don't know what would have happened. I ended up graduating high school fine, but my home life was not good at all. And the only reason why I was able to survive, really, was because of the friends I made at school and in the programs that I made the decision to get involved in. So if you are a parent listening, try to get your kid involved. Try to get involved in their lives. Go to the PTA meetings. Be a team mom, a team dad. Just get involved as much as you can. Your kids might think it's annoying, but at the end of the day, they're going to come back to you and they're going to end up saying things.
Our daughter, we made her get involved. SGA, government, whatever. Get in, do it. And she loved it. DECA, ROTC, she do it all.
I have to come back in on this one. I think I have a little valuable advice to the seasoning of a child from one demographic, financially and socially, to another. We do not stay in an affluent neighborhood. Let my wife tell.
We don't.
Let everybody around us tell it used to be, and it still is considered to a certain degree. Fairfield is a struggling city because it does not have money. But the neighborhood that we stay in itself, in Glen Oak, is a very nice neighborhood and has been so. But we've always tried to expose our children to something bigger and better. And in such a way, we found out that we sheltered our kids. Our oldest daughter went to Phillips Academy, and she's been there since, between Glen Iris and Phillips Academy. Phillips Academy is an international baccalaureate school. You have to test in to get in. Great school. Well, when she got ready to go to high school, she missed Ramsey by 4 or 5 slots, and she didn't care.
She actually was kind of excited not to have to go to Ramsey
to get the pressure off of her.
And I was so like, you're gonna take it again. You're gonna study. You gotta get in there.
So we ended up sitting there to Fairfield, and this is when we found out she was sheltered. Second day of school, she came home. This girl is 14, 15 at this time and said, Mama, I saw a fight. A real. Now, when you are 14 to 15 years old and it's the first time you see a physical altercation, something's wrong. Mr. Johnson said Lavelle may need, and that was a great comment you made. He may need to start mentoring the kids that aren't in the inner city as well as those on both sides. Well, my dad does stay in the inner city. I had always been sending the kids down my dad's house off and on. Now it is a religion, a ritual. You need to go down there not so you can see a fight, but so you can get a different brand of seasoning, so you can see a different dynamic. So when the kids show up and say, you that guy from Fairfield, your friends are like Jordan and say, nah, he's all right. Tell him to come on over here. And then when you see that guy from the football team in your neighborhood, and the police are being called, or you can say, nah, he's all right. Come on over here. That's the gap that isn't being bridged anymore. We're so excited to move out of the neighborhood that we forget to go back. And those who are stuck in the neighborhood have a disdain for those who are outside of the neighborhood and refuse to bridge the gap between the two.
I agree.
And realizing that we are all still one in the same.
That's right.
We come from the same place, and most of us, Mr. Vick included, aren't too many paychecks from being right there together again. Because rich is not defined in money, but in dollars and cents. I can have $100,000, but in my lifestyle, $10,000 a day, I'm only rich for 10 days. So no matter how much money you got, as you start to spend it, your situation can change at any moment. But if you've always had yourself in this air here, or that air there, and never been willing to cross the line, then you do yourself and your children a great disservice. I don't think the people in the inner city should talk about the people who've made it out. And I don't think the people who made it out should be scared to go back.
Well, part of the problem is this, is that we need good schools in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
We don't need to have a Ramsey here and a Phillips Academy there. We need good schools in every neighborhood.
Oh, last.
Shouldn't have to
Because okay, and then when she went to Fairfield,
yeah, say that.
It had to be the best. It was nothing but God. It wasn't meant for her to be at Ramsey. She is a leader. She is changing it.
Top 5.
She the top 5 percentile in her grade.
Good.
She has flourished like I can't believe it.
That's right.
She even have a job now.
And
crystals.
And the funny thing, she's doing the ROTC, and she got her girlfriend that's with her. The ones that were her 9th grade year, they were kind of like the hangout crew. Now all of them are in debt. FBLA, Future Business Leader of Mart, the ROTC. She's made, and that's what I'm saying. Take the season that you got outside of the community, bring it back into the community and share it with others. She's inspired other young ladies around her to reach their goals. But in doing so, they've humanized her and helped her realize a greater self that she is. Well, we got 2 comments from the gallery, one from Sandy Morgan and one from Leslie Carter.
I'm from the inner city, and I'm a product of Birmingham.
Talk up.
I'm a product of Birmingham City Schools. And I feel like I'm happy for anybody who feels, I've made it, I've arrived, I'm moving out the hood, I'm doing good. That's fine. But then you still come back to the hood and you want to criticize as if when you were that age, you weren't part of it. You weren't in a game. You weren't running around and skipping school. So now you want to get on Facebook and make comments as if you never did any of that stuff. And then when I say something to you, not on Facebook, I'm not Facebook gangster, I'm real gangster. Talking at Walgreens, yeah, that's that inner city right there. Hey, talk all day. You looked at me like I was crazy, but I just had to go and check you real quick because that wasn't. You were running around Smithfield Park. You were shooting at people. Now you see, you go to a football game about 2 years ago and you want to get on. That's why I moved my kids and my family out and we not in. But you used to do that at the football games. You were terrorizing the teachers. We couldn't get lessons done because you had to be put out on discipline. I'm glad that you made it. You feel that you've arrived and your children are learning this language and that language. Instead of running from a problem, be part of a solution.
That's right.
If you're going to say you're from East Thomas, Smithfield,
Kingston.
Okay, Kingston, all right, Gate City, whatever. You can come back and you can let them see, hey, I went to college or I started my own business. In the summertime, if you want to learn how to be an engineer or you're interested in whatever, I have no problem with helping you. Don't go hide off in your $1 million mansion and look down on someone when you once were a knucklehead running around doing stuff you had no business doing.
Hey Sam, that's what I did. Like I'm from a product of Birmingham City or whatever. I am privileged that I can move, and go somewhere else or whatever. But technically, my foundation caters to Birmingham City. I mean, and I get back to Birmingham City, but if I wanted to, I could have did it here, but I thought that I would take it back to where I came from to to kind of help them and to get them a head start with their future endeavors and moving on with their college, you know.
And just like Mr. J said, Johnson, Alabama, ATL, don't just do it for inner city, do it for all. Let's stop with inner city, I've arrived. Let's just say children, you know, you say no child left behind. Just do it for children, period. It doesn't matter about them being inner city or so-called privilege, because we don't know what these children are going through, be it inner city or privilege. It's like, you right here, Mr. Boy. I would have never known that his father was in prison. That shocked me over here. No offense, man, but you know, that was something that he had to go through. He could have gone either way. He could be in the prison system as well. So you can't say you're a product of your environment. Had he not given that background about himself, we would have never known. I would have just assumed, which I would have been making, you know, a little bit around myself, assuming he came from privilege or whatever. I kind of get a connection with you now. My parents didn't go to prison, I'm just saying.
False connections. False connections.
But, you know, I have friends who went through them. And like, Miss, you know your name. Yeah. Latchkey kids, you know. Mr. Dawson, I'm not being funny, but you look like you was a latchkey kid, you know, in that era of latchkey kids. And Ensley. He from Ensley.
Can I say something real quick?
He wasn't from that Ensley though.
I can't
say
from
the other end.
No, he graduated from Ensley High School in '85.
Okay, then you are
He from that end.
Did he have like a security detail or something?
Wait a minute, you said 85?
You graduated in '85, right?
I did.
You didn't have a security detail, did you?
No.
You're real Ensley.
Absolutely.
Brother Sims.
Can I say something?
Here's what it goes down to personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
It all comes down to what am I going to do today to make this community better? I mean, you know, we're living life like it's a video game. If you make a mistake, you get to start over. This is our only shot at making this thing happen.
That's right.
And it's not uniformity. If we're all going to look alike, act alike, be alike, that's never going to happen, but we can have unity.
It'd be so boring.
Absolutely. But we can have unity. And that is for us to make sure our community's the best it can be. I think you have to drive it down as local as possible. That starts in the home. There has to be a home responsibility. Then there's a community responsibility, a city responsibility, a state responsibility, and ultimately a national responsibility to make life better for the generation behind us. I used to say this about preachers. Now I say it about politicians.
Watch it now, because I'm still from Kingston.
There's the ones that remember when, and they want to think about the great old days of 20 years ago. It can't be as good as it was back then. And then there's one that says, remember what, remember me. They want to be fat and happy right now, comforted.
Right.
But there's a small group of us that remember why we're involved with this. And that's the generation behind us. Without success, there'll never be, without sacrifice, there'll never be success. And what happens is a lot of us have gotten settled for our success, and we're not willing to sacrifice for those coming behind us.
That's right.
And that's what is really the problem going on in our entire country. Everybody wants to point the finger and go, it's someone else's problem.
Let's stop pointing the finger.
You know, there was a professor I had in college that had this great statement. He said, for every complex situation, there's a simple answer. But the problem is that simple answer is usually wrong. And so what we want to do is settle for the simple answers instead of getting down to the root of the problem. And to me, it starts with the home. We've got to start securing the foundations of the home for a child to have a better tomorrow.
That's definitely where we started. When we dissect the problem and brought it all the way down, it comes from the home. Come on, Leslie.
I just wanted to speak on something that they were saying. Please remember, if you have $10,000 and you spend $1,000 a day, you're only what is it?
Rich for 10 days.
You're only rich for 10 days.
You just wanted to repeat that?
That's all I had to say.
Well, then repeat it.
You got okay.
Now I feel like I have a connection. Not that I'm from Ensley, but I feel like I have a connection.
Jay, what you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Jay, what you got?
I think you know, some key points are brought up, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like, I got a son, and my son graduated. He just graduated this past spring, and he graduated from my high school, my old high school. And when his mom and I, when he was getting ready to go into the 9th grade, his mom and I had a really big argument because I wanted him to come to Alabama to live with me. He's back home in Georgia, but I also wanted him to go to Trussville High School. You know, only because I was in a better school district. Now, here's the thing. I'm not knocking anything that happened from my upbringing. I'm not saying that I was not that kid who didn't disrupt class or anything like that, because I definitely was. But my issue is, as I evolved and got better and more prepared, when I got to college, I realized I was not equipped. So it's not about the fact that me not going back to my high school, not supporting it, is me saying that, hey, I've arrived. It's the fact that my high school did not give me an opportunity to put me in a better position. So I sat down with my son, because now he's going to college freshman year. And I asked him, I said, well, tell me about your high school experience. Tell me what you would have changed. He said 2 things. Every year while he was in school, he lost a friend. Every year. You know, one of his closest friends, who was the former Mr. name of the high school, who came back to pass the crown, died that night after he gave the crown away, you know, in a tragic car accident. Secondly, he said that he only had 3 consistent teachers, and one of them was his homeroom. Everyone else was there on a certification, or they moved. You know, they went to a better school system. So me saying that, hey, you know, I recognize what's going on with that school, and yes, I talked to the principal, who he's principal number 5 in the last 6 years. You know, I've spoken to him, and it's like having the same conversation over and over again, because I don't know how long you're going to be there. My question to you is, it's not the fact that I don't think that that school was good enough for him. I just wanted more for him, because I saw where the school was. I recognize that school for being the failure that it was to those kids, not because of the fact that it didn't give me the opportunity to get better. My friends got me better. When my freshman year at Morehouse, I struggled because I was not equipped. I remember at orientation we had to read The Miseducation of a Negro, and I couldn't even comprehend it. And I read very well, and I tested very well on the SAT. But it was just for the simple fact that when I got there and I was dealing with my professors and that curriculum, it was challenging. And I had sat back there and I realized that my teachers did not teach me how to study properly. You know, my counselors did not hold me accountable for the things that I said I was going to do. Matter of fact, my guidance counselor told me that I wouldn't be able to go to college. She told me that the best I could be would probably be a bus driver.
Wow.
And I played football. You know what I'm saying? And when I scored high on the SAT, she said I cheated. Right? You know what I'm saying? So tell me how me not wanting him to go through that same situation is me turning my back on my community. No, it's not the fact that I turn my back on my community. It's the fact that I recognize that my community is not doing anything to better itself. So now let me put him in an environment where I'm around individuals who will better themselves. The reason why the Hoover is always packed for PTA is because they understand. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's glorified. Them parents say, hey, I go to PTA. You know, I'm heavily involved. To where in the inner city,
if you're not involved, you're vilified.
Right.
That's right.
And in the inner city, it's the difference. Why are you going to that PTA? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? It's almost like Chris Rock said it best. People will throw a party for someone who got out of jail before they would with someone who just graduated college. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, you know, I personally cannot give back to that school because that school is not willing to receive what I'm willing to give. My money is not going to be the issue of it. My time will, but if my time is wasted, then I'm going to put my time better placed elsewhere. Yes. Because here in Trussville, they want my time. They don't want my money. To where in my old high school, they want my money and not my time. And I'm not going to give either one.
Amen to that. Woo. Okay. We have to go on commercial, guys. We have to. We'll be right back. DNG Live, the voice of the people. It's heated in here.
All right, listen, y'all. Chris, a short break. I love you all. I love how the conversation is going. Our airwaves are hot. I almost want to leave it right there, simmering on the people. Because if you look on your agenda, there's a spot that says how you can help bridge the gap.
So we want each and everyone's opinion.
No.
No.
And how you can bridge the gap, each person in the room will get a chance to tell about what they're doing and how people can support, not necessarily your opinion, but how people can support you, your campaign, your coalition, your organization. I know you ready. He put on his spec. He's up. This my part right here.
You want to wait until the commercial?
Only thing. There's only one rule of D&D Live, ladies first, and I'm going to represent my wife, so I'm going first.
Okay.
Now, but if you like, because we do have our peanut gallery and our comedian, if you would like to come back in with her comment, but no one else will be able to comment to Sandy's comment. Okay, because we buttoned against the time. I appreciate everybody for their time. But I definitely.
Scott, was that
I just want to make sure everybody gets their information.
What was that? Was Danny Carr there? Was Danny Carr at Ansley when you were there?
What year did she graduate?
Danny Carr.
Danny Carr.
Yeah,
Danny
Carr. He's the current DA for Jefferson County.
Oh, you know what? He was, I think he was 2 years before me.
Okay.
But I mean, he was a senior when I was a sophomore.
He was a basketball player.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, and I hadn't kept up. Is everything smoothed over with that now? What he was going through? I mean,
what, the DA's office?
Yeah.
With Charles Henderson, it's not resolved yet.
It's not resolved. Okay.
He goes to trial in October, I believe.
Okay. I hadn't.
You're the campaign manager? You're Rick, right? Okay. Rick and Scott. Scott and Rick. Rick and Bubba. No.
You gotta have a Bubba every once in a while in Alabama.
Now, where are you living? Are you still living in the Birmingham area?
Yeah, Highway 280.
Okay.
We lived in Trussville, where Jay is, for about 6 years. And then now I'm one of those guys that have to go up 280 every day.
You run a Republican?
It doesn't mean far out does not mean better. It just means far out. And for people that act on person who's having issues with getting their children to be registered, not just who or trust me or shame or whatever their kids and all that. No, it's something that ranks and constantly changing. It'll be a whole high school, but you don't know which one is.
You know how, Chris?
Yes.
Do you know how much longer this would be? My daughter. Yeah, I thought it was over at 9.
I thought so too, but they didn't let me know at all. So sometimes they like to expand it for a little bit. So I'm sure this is not going to be very long. I give it like at least 10, maybe 15 minutes. After that, if you have to go there.
Yeah, I've loved my time. I've been gone. I just want to see my son's at home tonight.
So you know Rick Burgess. He's quite a character. He is a character.
Rick's the real deal, though.
Yes, he is.
They're going towards certain neighborhoods. They're going to take down south. But you know what? They need to be able to take it anywhere.
We ventured out. We got one problem. We ventured out. We went to we saw the church shit and we didn't even do it. They did us some good. And it was nice. I didn't feel like, oh, it was all those. I just, you know, you just have to reach people at their level. That's something my teacher told us when I was in the paralegal. And I was like, well, I don't know how to read this. She said, you don't learn.
water, anyone? Chips?
Do you have another one? I want to make sure.
Yeah.
You're the host.
Oh, no, okay. I'll bring you one just one.
I'm good. The person that was mediating for it, they were like really active, and they acted like they were a resident or in the speaking. So I took off my top. And I said that my teacher gave me a paper. She said, yeah, she's like, that was the first thing you did, that was great. Because people don't want to see something that's uptight if they're not uptight. You gotta know who you're talking to. But that's
So now, are you full time here?
Right now, I'm just an intern. I'm trying to get a job here, so I've been an intern for like 5 months plus. For about 5 months.
Okay. What did you do before this?
I worked at Michael. I worked a lot of places.
Hey, up and down.
Yeah. I'm trying to get back in radio after a 6-year absence.
You live your life between them two guys. The shortest. When you come back at me later on, I know what I said. I ain't got the shoes on, I ain't got the water down. Where I feel now probably gonna be where I feel 20 years from now.
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Now listen, if you don't have your stuff together, don't worry. I'll take your time as well. But we like to keep everybody connected to everybody. We have reached so far on our live feed 4,200 people tonight because we've been sitting in the studio. So, and then people go back and watch the feed later as well. So people gonna want to know who you are, what you're doing, how they can support, how you can stay connected. We was talking one night on air, man came through and donated 2 iPads to the David King Foundation. And, you know, we get things just from the connection. So this is a very important part.
Have you seen the donations in here?
I did.
I took them first.
How much time would you like everyone to limit their speaking to? Obviously, I know we're going to be a little short on time, and I know everybody's going to talk about themselves. Sometimes I drone on. Right? So I don't want to take up somebody else's time.
30 seconds. You got more than 30 seconds. 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
You can follow my lead, and I'm going with it, and I'm going to be short.
It's gone.
We're going to make it short.
Now they over here being petty.
Oh, they know it. They telling the truth. Mr. Victor can talk.
I've been knowing all my life.
You too. Graduating from back.
You gotta say something.
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah, then you won't be able to shut me up.
I'm going to hold you to it. Is it time, Chris?
Just go get out.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to D&D Live, the voice of the people. As you see, we have went over our time. Shout out to Bradley Lewis. Hope you are feeling better.
Yes, yes.
And I want to thank all my panelists tonight. Jay Johnson, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You are wonderful.
I appreciate that.
Mr. West, we'd love to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
For everybody.
Brother Sims.
Yes, I'm glad to be here, and as I said, you know I'm running for mayor of Birmingham. Better schools, better community, better government. You get transparent, honest government that really cares for the people. You go to my website.
We're going to get there in a minute.
Oh, okay, I thought that was down. Sorry,
we're going to get there in a minute,
right. Okay, I thought we were there.
Thank you, Scott Dawson, for coming in.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Man, it has, and I'm telling you, we love you already.
I appreciate that. I hope not to do anything to make you not love us. I want to be here for you guys.
Yes, we want you.
Appreciate that.
Chris the intern. Good old faithful Chris. I swear. Chris, I promise when D&D Live take off, I'm taking you with me.
Okay.
Shantae Renee. Deja King.
Happy to be here.
Part of D&D Live. Jordan Thompson, District 2.
Hey y'all, thanks for having me again. It's good to be back. Hope I can come back again.
Come on now, you already know.
It's a party here. I like it. Good time.
All right.
Always.
And we got Miss Veronica No Too Much Johnson in the Peanut Gallery holding it down.
Holding it down.
She got Mr. Yeah, she was promoted this week. We got Rick Renshaw in the building.
Rick Renshaw trying to be quiet back there.
He too, Mr. Too Cool. I'm going to get him though. And he's spiffy too. Love it. Sandy Morgan, our comedian. You know, she brings a balance to the show.
Yes, she
I
does.
try. Leslie Carter. How you doing, sir?
My best friend from high school.
That's Mr. Victor's best friend. All right, Mr. Vic, come on with it.
All right, this is my new favorite part of the show is how can you stay connected? How can you help bridge the gap? D&D Live says they're always trying to bridge the gap, kind of stand for change. Well, we like to tell people how they can stay connected, how they can help support any change that you heard on tonight's show. We want to start off with D&D Live and the things that they're doing. You can always go to the D&D Live Facebook page. You can archive and go back and check any show that has been broadcasted. You can go to the D&D Live 2016 YouTube channel and pull up any show that has been broadcasted this year. You can visit the D&D Live website. I gave it once on the show. I don't want to give it again because I don't want to give it incorrectly. But it will be posted on the Facebook page later tonight, so you can get it from there. There's informationals. You can go to the bottom of the website, give you information what city or state you're in. This show is nationwide. She has representatives and members everywhere. She's coming up on her 1-year anniversary. And we need everyone's support inside the room, outside the room, and in our listening audience. We're selling raffle tickets to the gala. They are $10. We are selling seats to the gala. They are $50. We're selling tables. Table seat 8, and you get a table for $300. If you would like to speak at the gala, if you're running for a particular office, we have speaking and literature packages as well. But all the funds from the gala, you've heard us talk about it all year long, will go to fund a 50-state tour where they're going to visit 2 cities in each state, holding Stop the Violence rally and broadcasting D&D Live on location from that city. She has representatives in each city that has already talked to local leaders and who's coordinated these events. And it's going to be a dual effort. It'll start on the East Coast as well as the West Coast at the same time. These women are standing for change, and they need us to stand behind and undergird. I want to give a shout out to one of our panelists. The first thing Mr. J. Johnson did this week when he came in is he paid for his table. Well, his wife and the Brownstone, Dr. Chris Johnson and the Brownstone, sent $300 in for a table, and she said it's her husband's weekend. It's her husband's birthday weekend that weekend, and she probably won't even attend. But she wanted D&D Live to know that they had her full support. And we'd like to thank you for that, Ms. Nice. If anybody would like to reach out to us in any type of way, feel free. You can contact us via phone at 205-919-6257. My name is Mr. Victor. I'm just a cleanup guy. And this is
D&D Live, the voice of the people.
The voice of the people. And we're going to go around the room and we're going to give everybody a chance to talk about what they're doing, what they're running from, or who they represent, and how you can stay connected and support their organization.
Very good, very good. All right, Mr. Dawson, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, thanks for
speak
having
here.
me. It's been good to be here. I'd love to come back at any time. We can make this thing work out. I'm praying for your run for mayor and for City Council of Birmingham. It starts as local as possible, and eventually it goes to the statewide. I am running for governor of the state of Alabama. It's announced June 5th.
Yes.
Our website is scottdawson.com, and what we're doing is we're basically going around telling people our vision, based on what Helen Keller would say. You know, she lost her sight when she was 6 months of age, couldn't really speak. They had to develop a way to communicate with her. And later on, she was asked, what would be worse than being blind? And Helen Keller said, to me, what would be worse than being blind would be if I had sight and no vision. And it's time for visionary leadership for the state of Alabama. And so that's what we try to do. So thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for coming. Brother Sims?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you to D&D Live, and just looking forward to partnering with you guys as you do your community efforts.
Yes, sir.
Also, we have someone that's raising resources for children going to college, through an essay. I definitely want to be a part of that. I believe in community, and that's how you bridge the gap, is by bringing people together in community. And as you know, Brother Sims, I'm running for mayor of Birmingham. and I want to bridge the gap between the communities by serving. I also would like to say you can go to my website, brothersinsformail.com. Also, we'll be posting our platform, which is comprehensive, and we'll be rolling that on out so everyone can see. But what I really would like to say is thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate you guys. You're always so gracious to me whenever I talk to you guys. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Likewise.
And it's time for a change. I think Birmingham needs new life and new hope. Citizens need it. So don't serve ourselves, we serve the people. So thank you for having me.
All right. Mr. West? Come on in.
Thank you for the opportunity of coming here. And so, some of you may not, I ran for circuit judge a year ago or so and lost. So there's always something you can do to serve the community. So I found another way to serve this community by being involved with the Alabama New South Coalition organization. So there's always something you can do. I'll just tell you about the one signature program that we have. We teach chess to inner city children every Thursday over at the West End Library. And the idea behind that is, if you know anything about the game of chess,
3 moves ahead.
You can make a move, and it may impact you 2, 3, 4, 5 moves down the road. And we try to talk to the kids and explain to them, if you make a decision in life, it may impact you positively or negatively 4 or 5 moves in life down the road. And this is a way that our organization is trying to make a difference. This is just another way in which you can make a difference. And if you want to join New South and help us with this effort and making a difference in our community, please join. You can find us on Alabama New South Coalition Jefferson County Chapter on Facebook. There's all sorts of information about what we do concerning helping inner city children, talking to individuals at the state and local level about making sure you're registered to vote, voter education. We also do things such as feed the poor. We have a food pantry and we give away food to the poor every week.
Wow.
And we also give turkeys and boxes of food to poor families Christmas and Thanksgiving every year. We did it last year, the year before, the year before. These are the types of things we're doing at Alabama New South Coalition, Jefferson County Chapter. Please join us. Look us up on Facebook. Thank you so much for having us here.
Will do.
Thank
you
you
for coming.
All right.
All right, Mr. Johnson.
Well, first and foremost, thank you to the Jordans. Like I always tell Vic, the Johnsons love the Jordans and the Jordans love the Johnsons.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and so I come here. I still represent my wife, who was a panelist last week, Dr. Cree. You can follow her social media handles at Dr. Cree, as DOCTORKRE. But as far as what we're doing in the community, me personally, I have a passion for kids. I've always been one who will help any kids get into college or, understand what college is and explore the opportunities. I used to be over college ministry for my church, which is the Worship Center, where I help, students find scholarships and things of that nature. So that's something I still feel very passionate about. So anyone who wants to, get help, even when it comes down to helping parents understand financial aid and what student loans are and things of that nature, I do that. But I also sit on the board for the MHRC, which is Minority Health Disparities Research Center, the Young Professional Board, which is at UAB. We're responsible for putting on the event Harlem in the Ham, and which brings awareness to communities where they're impoverished. And right now, what we're looking at are communities where there are a food desert, meaning that there isn't a good grocery store for them in the area within at least 5 miles. So they have to go to the corner store, Dollar General, or whatever it is to eat, which is unhealthy, or always get fast food and things of that nature. And so I definitely urge, anyone who wants to get involved with this, The event, and I'll hit the date so that way Victor can put it on the webpage, but we're putting it on in September.
Okay.
Accepting all donations, to help going towards this cause and things of that nature. We talk about things we're doing in the community and education, but if our kids can't get a decent meal at night, then what Jordan said was right. School is their gateway, and so they can only eat a decent meal at school when they come home at night and their stomachs are growling.
Like that, Jay?
Right.
You'd be surprised.
And they're eating, just bag of chips or whatever it is. And I have to say this: I saw the most disrespectful thing on TV today. It was on the news, and it was laughed at by one of the anchors. But they highlighted Pringles have a new flavor, which is ramen noodles, and it's only sold in the Dollar General store. And so to me, I thought that was crazy because these are my kids who are going out there that's going to eat these, and they just don't understand. Like, you can actually have better opportunity. But for the most part, that's what we want to do. So please feel free to follow my wife, Dr. Creed, DOCTOR KRE, on all her social media handles. And thank you so much for having me here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming. Come on, Jordan.
Well, hey, y'all, thank you again for having me back. I really do appreciate it. It's good to be here again with some different people. Thank you all for being here as well. It shows that you care about your community, that you're invested in it, and you like spreading the word about improving all of our community together. Good luck to the other candidates in the room, Brother Sims and Mr. Dawson. Good luck on your campaigns. I hope they go well. To hear more about my campaign and my platform for Birmingham City Council District 2, you can go to Thompson2017.com. You can go to my Facebook page, Jordan Thompson for Birmingham City Council District 2. And you can hear all about my campaign, where we focus on accessibility, unification, education, opportunity. There's a lot of other issues. Obviously, we don't have enough time to go into how many things that we need to change about Birmingham. But I mean, gosh, term limits, everything. Additionally,
this is definitely a start, though.
Thank you. Additionally, I would love to work with the New South Coalition, especially with chess. My grandfather taught me chess when I was very young, and I'd love to pass that on to somebody else. Especially, you made a great point about life lessons, and everything has a reaction, right? So I'd love to be a part of that. Absolutely.
That's why this is my favorite part of the show, because you get a chance to hear what everybody do, and you get a chance to see how you fit. And then D&D Live is truly doing what my wife said God laid on her heart to do: bridging gap, uniting people and ideas in a positive way, affecting real change.
Absolutely. And you got a great point. And to that effect, I want to say thank you all again for coming out to our nonprofit event. For those of y'all that don't know, I run a nonprofit called Teams for Troops, where we send sports-related care packages to deployed military units. So if you're an Auburn fan, an Alabama fan, you're deployed, and we'll send you a T-shirt, jersey, what have you, give you a piece of the home team while you're away. When you get back, we'll give you tickets so you can go to a game with your family and friends.
Nice.
We also promote traumatic brain injury awareness, which is a big issue for veterans and athletes alike. We had a yoga for America event on the 4th of July, and 3 of the members from the plug came out and did some yoga with us, and a lot of us were struggling. I'm not flexible, I can touch my toes, but we had a good time. There's a funny video of it. They had a live feed, so we want to appreciate their support as well for that. If you'd like to learn more about Teams for Troops, you can go to teamsfortroops.org. Instagram is @TeamsForTroops, and then there's a Facebook page as well. But again, thank you for your time. I look forward to coming back and vote Jordan Thompson, Birmingham City Council District 2. Thank you.
All right, District 2, Jordan Thompson. Shantae Renee.
Shantae Renee, and what I do is my full-time job is I'm an event planner here in Birmingham, wedding planner in Birmingham, and I do that full-time along with being a full-time mom of a disabled child and another child. But I also do the Deja King Foundation, which is founded in honor of Deja. I'm the co-founder, and she is the founder, because without her, then there would not be a Deja King Foundation. Basically, she was born normal. At the age of 6 months, she contracted pneumococcal meningitis. That left her with multiple disabilities, and they told me that if she did more than would be expected, it would be a miracle. On the 19th of this month, we'll celebrate her 20th birthday. This is her last year in Spain Park. But physically, her age to graduate, her year to graduate would have been 2015. So I decided to celebrate her in 2015. I allowed her to walk across the stage with her other peers. There was a standing ovation. She was on the news and in the newspaper. But I wanted to do something to celebrate her because she could not go to college. So my intentions were only to bless one student to go out to college with their essentials that they would need for their future endeavors. With the help of the community, I was able to bless 5 students off my first year. My second year, I was able to bless 30 students off, and this year we're doing 20 students. We collected a lot of donations, but there are still donations that need to be collected, and I'm collecting items and monetary donations because there's other stuff that needs to be done, like venues to be paid off, shirts, and things of that nature, food and stuff like that. But the community has been very good. But I want to thank D&D Live and the Plug Radio for letting this be a platform for the people to hear and to donate and to help me with this. It is not just me, it's we, because we are a community.
Amen.
Good job.
All right, Miss Veronica Know Too Much Johnson. You have anything to say?
Everything?
No, because y'all made me feel bad.
And we appreciate you and all your efforts for this show. Every Friday, girl, you be on it.
Not only on Fridays though, during the week when I post a question.
Yes, she's
Veronica is ready. She chimes in, she gives her input. She also influenced the other people that's on my timeline when I post the question of the week to give their input and kind of challenge them a little bit with going back and forth. So
yeah. So she's great. She's definitely family. Sandy Morgan.
I just want to say thank you. I agree and disagree with most of y'all. I see everybody wants to be a comedian tonight. I'll stick to what y'all know best. That's politics, and let me have a job that I can all get and always explain again. Now, I thank y'all for giving me an opportunity, and hopefully you all will be able to see more of my greatness August 5th.
At the gala.
At the gala.
That's right.
Yeah, Civic Center, get your ticket, sugar.
Support the gala. Support D&D Live. We need y'all support. Mr. Victor cannot handle it anymore.
Well, my back been strong a long time. I had to take some extra nights at the gym, but we're not going to speak on that.
Support the gala. Tickets are going for $50. We have raffle tickets for $10. We have some good gifts we're giving away. It's going to be wonderful. And it is a platform like this is for your voices to be heard.
And do not feel limited to just the sponsorship numbers and packages. If God has laid it on your heart to help us move in that type of way, feel free. Hallelujah. All you have to do is go back through the archives and check the show. We don't charge. We don't act. We allow God to bless and provide. All we want to do is provide a platform. So I need to make this announcement to everybody that's in studio and everybody that's listening. If you have an event that is going on that's coming up and you need me, if it's about affecting change, you don't have to be able to afford it. You just have to be able to call us. There's people in this room. Jordan Thompson just testified. He told us on the show what they were doing. We didn't ask him for anything. We said, we're coming out with a camera crew.
And they did. They did a good job.
The first time Fernandez Sims came on the show, he told us where he'd be and where he was speaking. We said, we'll be there with a crew.
It was wonderful.
It was
good. Jay Johnson told us his wife was doing her medical digital diary every week, and we said, we'll be there. And we showed up with a camera and a crew.
I appreciate that.
I love her. Me and her will do this every other Monday. Shout out to Dr. Queen.
Shantae told us last year she wished she had got in touch with us earlier so we could do more. This year we made sure from the moment she contacted us. You know the reason we won't let her leave? Because we promised her last year we would do more. So from the very moment we invited her on the show this time, we said we don't want you to leave the panel, at least until the Trump party happens. We want you to come on each and every week to have this platform, to have this voice, because you're trying to affect change.
And the party that came and went. Now she is here to stay.
So
the party's actually on the 30th.
Oh,
it's almost.
That was the day party.
I thought that was the day party.
That was the day party.
So if you have something going on or know of something going on in the community that needs to be publicized, or somebody that's on the ground working, affecting change, just like Miss Carnetta Kennedy, and not being highlighted, let us know. My wife has a passion for giving a voice to the voice. D&D Live exists for one reason, to bridge gaps. But
wherever they need it.
Wherever they need to be bridged at, but she cannot do it if she does not know where they are. So please help us, help you, and help others. Thank everyone for coming out. She will go through the parting thoughts with you all before we get out of here.
I just want to thank everybody for their time.
Yes, thank you guys again for coming in. It's been great. It's been a wonderful time on D&D Live. Parting thoughts, are you registered? Once again, if you're not registered and you want to be registered, please get in touch. I will do what it takes.
All right.
Do you know where your local voting hub is? You won't know if you're not registered. It comes all together on that card they send you. It's going to tell you what school, fire station, wherever to go vote at. Are you satisfied with your current local and state administration? If you're not and you don't vote, you do not have a right to speak.
Get off Facebook. Quit molesting my timeline with your complaints about local officials who you won't even vote on. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And building new prisons or rehabbing those schools, what sides do you sit on? I think everybody on this panel sits on the side of rehabbing new schools. Let's get the schools back in order. Let's get the kids back in effect.
Can you read that last one again?
Building new prisons or rehabbing old schools, what side do you sit on? We don't need no more prisons. D&D Live, the voice of the people. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
One download at a time, and we'll see y'all next Friday. Same time, same place.
All right.
She does a great job, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. She just makes me so proud.
Oh Lord. Lordy. Jesus.
Thank